All right. What's going on, everybody? Today is Friday, January 20th, 2023, and the market is kind of ripping today. A lot of stuff popping up. Stocks are kind of going crazy. I was checking just the gap scanner today, and like we have GNS that's gapping up like 100% today. Just absolutely insane numbers. So it looks like it could be a pretty fun day. I know that there was a lot of economic reports happening today, and so being as that's the case, probably going to take a look at some of the economic calendar as well before we get too in depth into trading. Give me just a moment here, just fixing a setting here real fast, and then I'll get my screen up. Mm-mm. All right. Hey, what's up, Kevin? How's Lakeland? Florida. What is up, Adam? Good to see you, my friend. Man, dude, I always read Abashat, so I'm just like, is it Adam? Is it? Yeah. I always I'm trying like to remember your name every time, and I'm always like, man, because I just keep reading Abashat, you know. So either way, good morning, man. Happy to have you here. All right, here we are. So, yesterday we had a slurry of economic reports. Wednesday and Thursday, market was declining pretty heavily. Although yesterday we had a lot of momentum moves. Today we had some economic reports. Actually, we had 9 a.m. Eastern, so 6 a.m. right before the open. We had the Philly Fed President Patrick Harker gave a speech. And then we had existing home sales at 7 a.m. this morning. The forecast was 3.95 million. The actual was 4.02 million for the numbers in December. So it did exceed the forecast by about 700,000, which is pretty good, honestly. Surprisingly enough, I do know that home prices across the board on average have fallen about 15%. Now imagine though, yes, that is a drop of 15% off those highs, but remember that if a house was 100,000 at the beginning of the pandemic and it shot up to like 150,000 and then it drops down 15%, like what does that bring that down to? Like 140? I don't even think that low. By the way, if you could find a house for 150,000, like what the hell? That would knock 22 and a half off of it. So that even though it started at 100K, went up to 150K, and then fell down 50%, it's still 27 and a half above and beyond what it was pre-pandemic. So remember that even though it's falling off of these highs, it's still, much more expensive than it was just 2-3 years ago. At 1 p.m., so that is 10. So hard for me to do math right now. So that's 10 a.m. Pacific. We've got the Fed Gov Christopher Waller speaking at Council on Foreign Relations. No idea how that's going to affect markets at all. But let's go ahead and jump on into it. Here we are. Taking a look at the ES today. We are breaking through the upper area of the VWAP. When I first checked out the markets right here at the open, we basically had rejected the upper band of the VWAP, fell all the way down to the bottom band of the VWAP, and was beginning to bounce. And as it is now, we've just been ripping basically for the last half hour. We pretty much got this red to green move about 10 minutes into the open, and we've been just ripping on green since. So market's up 0.5% on the ES today. How's everyone doing out there, by the way? Hopefully today we will make sure that we're not over trading. Getting some pullback now off these highs. This is when it's kind of like just straight ripping right this can be somewhat challenging for me to trade, as I've noticed in the past. Just gonna draw some technical levels here, some support and resistance zones. Remember that support and resistance are zones. It's a price range, not a specific dollar or penny amount. I make that point because I have, throughout the years of trading, seen people who have been like, no, the support and resistance is at 39, 36, and 25 cents, and it's like, well, it could fluctuate with like a couple of shares purchased in either direction or sold in either direction. So it's important to remember that it's a resistance zone. You can see a lot of buyers coming in and buying up this level here by the upper band, as evidenced by these large upwicks, and also on the bulls bears, you can see it's pretty much a solid green, answering at 37.5. Just took a little micro trade there, $100. Gonna just kind of trying to get a feel for the movement on the day. So it took 3 minutes for this to run up $7. We're getting some leveling off in the TTM there. So what this tells me is that we may start to see some pullbacks, likely to about the EMA 35, which is right at 39.35 on the ES. Although you can see a lot of these upwicks, like if you look right here where you see these really long tails, these really long upwicks, what that is telling us is that buyers are stepping in and creating that support. Even though there's a lot of sell pressure, a lot of downward pressure, buyers are still stepping in and maintaining that level of support. So we may see buyers buy this up and get more potential breakouts above this upper band of the VWAP. When we're at the upper band of the VWAP, though, I'm usually really hesitant to take swings. This is usually where I want to take scalps, because we can see rejections. Like you can see, this one was out of the upper band for a while, but then kind of rejected down to the 35. They pulled back up again, rejected off of the upper band. Took some bounce off the 26 and moved on through, but now it's like once again struggling at the upper band. And so when it's at that upper band of the VWAP, I'm really cautious with my trading. Alrighty, all true. Let's see what we got going on. TTM's kind of leveling off a little bit. Went from 4.2 down to 4.0 down to 3.8. But still, buyers piling in. I'm gonna go slow today. Typically Fridays have been kind of like somewhat challenging for me. I'm gonna also reduce this off of 5 ticks and maybe go for 3. There's that rejection off of the upper band, and that's what we were looking for, especially since we were seeing the leveling on the TTM. So we'll see if this rejects down to the 35. I'm gonna see about taking a short, maybe off the 12 if I can, which is right around 36.5, 37. All right, I've been short at 36.75, and I'm looking for a move down to 36. Right now we're flat in this trade. Again, I'm just trying to get a feel for the market. We may end up trading in our evaluation today, but right now I'm really just trying to get a feel. I'm just trying to get the flow going. There's that move down to 36. We are up $250 on the day. Not bad, making 250 bucks in about 9 minutes. It is in paper, but you know. All right, let's jump to the evaluation side. So we're kind of pulling off these highs. Let's see, we're in our 100K eval, so we're gonna switch this over to two contracts. Last one ended with buyers in control, even though it was a red. I almost actually took that move off 37. It looks like it would have been a good move. $3.5 to 3.0 to 2.5. We are still getting moved downward on the TCM, even though we're getting these green candles coming in. I think a move down to 35 is potentially in order. Going short off of 37. All right, we took that. It was a quick 150. So that was a move from 37 down to 36. What's up, Tiny? Great to see you. There's that move down to 35 that we mentioned. Large upwick off the 26 SMA there. $3.0 to 2.3 to 1.7 on the TTM. Showing more momentum to the downside at this particular point in time. One, two, three, four. 4 red candles in a row. I think I need to be a little bit more bold in my evaluation because, like, I literally was considering this one. So that's 2 trades that I was considering taking that I hesitated on, and both of them would have worked out really quite well. And so I really just think that I need to be a little bit more bold in my actions on my evaluation side of things. I'm trying to balance the difference between bold and egotistical, or bold and like overconfident. And so there's like a level that needs to, like, kind of some sort of balance that I need to be able to strike, and some sort of internal dialogue or conversation where that confidence and ego don't intersect, and I'm able to tell the difference between the two of them. Sometimes it's really challenging though, because the ego voice in my head can sound almost identical to the confidence voice in my head. And so because that's the case, it just makes it really challenging to differentiate between the two of them sometimes. Going long here for a bounce off the EMA 35 may not be the best move in the world. Try to join the bid there in the eval. Tried to get in at 34 3/4, and it just kind of moved past me. So I'm gonna actually cut this. We did get the trade, however, on the paper side, up 5.5, 550. Hit resistance now at 39.35. We may see a pullback to the 50 EMA. We do have a red candle forming on the TTM. Went short off 34.5. I've just been working off 3 ticks today. I think that's kind of a bit of a safer move. There's another drop up 700 in paper. Nothing like warm beans in your cup on a cold day. Yeah, you are absolutely correct, Tiny. I think P&W kids are just like given coffee at birth or something. I don't know. I think I had coffee when I was like 7 or something. It was like when I started having coffee here and there. By the time I was a teen, though, man, it was like daily. We do have a few people watching, so for y'all watching, make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It does really help the community grow, helps the channel grow. We did hit 260 today, so I do want to say thank you, all 260 of you. Thank you guys so very much for liking, subscribing, supporting the channel, supporting the community growth, all that. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. We do only have about 10% of you guys joining our Discord community, though. So we would love to see some higher numbers joining in the Discord community. Would love to see you guys there. We do have an awesome community of people who are just there to help, just there to just be positive and provide optimism to each other and help support each other through all of our growth. So I do love and appreciate each and every one of you that are joining our Discord community. We do have a pop-off here off that EMA 50. This is exactly what I was talking about. It actually didn't even go all the way down to the 50. It popped down to 35 and jumped off that. This is popping up off a red TTM candle, though, so a little bit caution here. We do have a possible crossover the 1226. You can see we did get a 1226 downward cross, and then an immediate pop-up off that. Joining the bid right here. This may drop down a little bit before it pops back up, or it may not pop back up at all. Popping down to the, yeah, I may need to cut that one. So find out in just a second. I'm not cutting it yet just because we are above the 50. 1.5 to 2.1. Large upwick. Buyers again. Trying to get out just below 35. Jumping into my eval side and gonna join the bid right here. Once again, move on past me.
Order filled.
Entered at 34.25. I'm looking to get it at 35.
Order filled.
All right, there we go. We did get that trade. There's 3 ticks, 2 contracts in the evaluation side. That puts us up 66 on the eval in the 100K eval. I'm going to jump over to the 50K eval. And we'll look at taking a little bit of a larger trade with just a little more contracts. Probably around the same size. I've been doing well with 3 ticks, so I'm probably going to stick with 3 ticks on the day. But we can take more contracts on the 50K account than we can on the 100K account. And that's because the 100K is a static evaluation. The 50K is a one step. So if you guys are curious at all, I'm looking to earn funding right now in Elite Trader Funding. I'm also picking up an account in Apex as well. So I want to try out different prop firms so that I can get to know them as a company, get to know them as a service. But I have been incredibly happy with Elite Trader Funding. These guys right here, in my own personal opinions so far, are the GOAT. They've only been around a year. not even that, but in that length of time that they've been around, they've provided incredible customer service. Is one thing I really look for in a company. But I am currently working on the one-step evaluation. There's a 50K eval, which allows me 8 contracts of the mini, 80 micros with a profit target of 3,000 and a trailing max drawdown of 2,000. And then I'm also working on the static evaluation of 100K. They did just recently add a 150K static evaluation, which allows 4 contracts of the mini, which I honestly wish that they had this prior, because I probably would have picked this up. But this is a profit target of 3,000 with a max drawdown of 1,250. So y'all can check this out. Use the link in the description and the promo code JSBEST to lock in a lifetime discount. If you guys want to look to earn funding in the futures market, in my personal opinion, it is one of the getting funded at any prop firm is just by far the best value in the industry, because you get access to $50,000 for $165 or less. It's less when you use my link and the promo code, but you're getting access to that. So if for any reason market goes against you or whatever, you're not out your $50,000. You know, your account might get shut down or something like that, or might get like, you know, where you need to re-earn funding or whatever the case may be, but you're not losing $50,000. And I just think it's the best deal that exists really in the whole market. So it's something worth checking out. Nice job, man. Made $40 on HLOLs? Why is it HLBZ? I'm sorry. Got that visual impairment going on there. So my apologies on that. HLBZ, good job, dude. By the way, guys, if you guys want to check out Apex Trading is doing a ridiculous 80% off deal. They're only doing it for 3 more days. So it is kind of a flash sale. Here's a link to that as well. So you guys can actually get earn funding there for like get access to a 50K account for like $33. It's just a ridiculous deal. So just figured it was something worthwhile. So we did get a little bit of a pop on that. We got a red to yellow for a brief moment, and now we're getting another red to yellow. I tend to prefer a second red to yellow over the first one, just for in my opinion, they're a little bit more stable. Let's take a look at the measurements on the TTM. 2.4 to 2.4 to 2.4 to 2.5 to 2.3. Okay, so now we're actually getting a little bit more of a divergence on the TTM. The 26 and the 12 are still kind of diverging away from each other. So we may still have a little bit more downward push, but you can see how well the 50 EMA is acting as support along with the EMA 35. That's one of the reasons why I use these moving averages, is because they really do act very strongly as support and resistance zones. Right now, TTM is pretty flat, and so that could add to some chop in the market. I'm going to take a look at some of the longer time frames. We got 3-minute and a 5-minute. On the 3-minute, we are still cooling on the TTM. At the peak, we were up here at 10.3, and we've been going down for about 1 point, maybe like 0.9 or 1.1 per candle. So 6.4 to 4.7, or sorry, 6.4 to 5.3 to 4.6. So 5.3 to 4.6. That is a movement of 0.7 to the downside. So it's kind of even some leveling off there. We did get a 3-minute doji on the last 3-minute candle. Let's pop in on the 5. It does look like we're getting a little bit of a pop here, so I'm trying not to take too long. We went from our cooling candle of 8.8. We're actually stacking upward on the 5, 9.0 to 9.1. So kind of flat, but a little bit of an upward stack on the 5-minute chart. And because it's the case, we're actually getting more buying pressure slightly overall. There's this pop beginning to happen. We're going from 2.4 to 2.1 to 1.9 on the TTM1. And so I'm going to join the bid here. And I'm going to jump to the evaluation side and join the bid there. We're in at 35.5.
Order filled.
I did just kind of jump in as fast as I could. We're in 4 contracts, 3 ticks, and we did just get that
Order
trade.
filled.
That puts us up $132 in the 50K evaluation. Really nice, just super great, calm patterns today. Very smooth sailing trading today. This is my favorite kind of trades when it looks like this, where it does have very natural rejection points, very natural support points. This is exactly what I look for in trading. Really nice, solid red-yellow moves. These are my favorite kind of days. I was a little hesitant and worried because we're riding along these uppers at the upper band of the VWAP, but we're seeing very natural rejections off the upper band of the VWAP and very natural support levels off of the 35 and off of the 50. So this is actually like really good trading today, and the TTM is very usable today. Most days is pretty usable, but there's like 20% of the days that I've realized that are just like it's kind of so-so. And those are the days where it's incredibly choppy. Today it's not choppy, it's very very smooth sailing. This is exactly what I love to see on days like trading days. Getting a really nice push up. We're pushing up towards the upper bands. I'm going to take a little bit of a slightly larger swing, just 6 ticks, and see if I can get in at 37.5. There's about midway through this candle. I did tap myself. Okay, good. We got the entry. We're looking to get an exit out near the upper band, which is at 39. Pulling back to 37. We're very near a cyan switch. Nine's above 12. I'm gonna actually join the bid here on try to get in on my eval side, and I was just 1 tick too high because I joined the bid instead of the market price. Did rip up off those off that area, so I do think this will actually pop up. I'm gonna just take this profit here. Made 150 on that. It'll probably pop up at 39, but I just wanted to just take it off. We're up $1,150 on the day in the paper side, and we're doing quite well in the valuation today as well. Just gonna check in with y'all in the comments. Y'all know that I'm like mostly trading. I'm not checking comments as often, so I kind of jump back and forth. No trades for you today. Having FOFU. Totally understand. Just need to be a spectator today. The fact that your self-awareness and consciousness is there to be able to be like, today I just need to like be a spectator. I think that shows leaps in volumes, like leaps and bounds, speaks volumes, however you want to say it, of your progress as a trader. I think that is actually just like self-awareness is by far one of the most important traits of a strong trader. So good job, honestly. Greed market kind of scary today. I totally understand, man. I appreciate that, Tiny. Really do. All right. So we did pop up. We did hit 39. We actually hit close to 40. We did hit the 39. So I guess I could have kept that on there, made another $150, but I don't really care. I'm more interested in making sure that we are not over trading and that we are taking profits along the way, as well as trades that we completely understand. And if I begin to get nervous in it and I don't take the full meat on the bone, that's perfectly fine with me. I'm still eating, as it matters to me. So 0.7 to 1.0. to 1.2 on the TTM on the drop. We did get a small crossover. I don't know if this is going to hold because it doesn't really have much momentum. You can see the TTM is almost kind of flat. What's our volume like? Volume is just okay. It's kind of low. It's kind of like what our November volume was looking like, where it was around like 1,500 to 2,000 contracts per minute. It's not like amazing, but it's enough to like make trading more predictable. I honestly like trading when the volume's like this. When the volume gets like crazy high and it's like 6,000 contracts a minute, like the swings are just like almost too much. There was a stock I was watching today. I'm just gonna check in on it and see how it's doing. GNS. I just wanted to see what was going on with these guys. These guys ran up like 100% in the pre-market, and they basically just fallen and gave up all their gains since. So I was just curious how that was going with this stock. And that was essentially the news on them was that there's some other company that's looking into investigating naked shorts, and GNS offered their help. That was the headline that made them like triple in price almost. We're getting stacking on the TTM, and you can see this like big like pop off the EMA 35 there. But the stack in the TTM is so minor, and I think it's just really just due to the lower volume. There's around 2,000 contracts a minute. It's not like terrible. 1.4 to 1.7. Very nice bounce off the EMA 35. I love the 35, man. Like the bounces off that are so consistent. Unfortunately, I kind of missed this move, so I'm not gonna like jump on it. Maybe I should have. Look at that. I just kind of felt like I missed the move. But there was still some meat on that bone. We're actually getting a spike on the TTM. You can see 1.4 to 2.0. That's looking nice. I have FOMO. 5 seconds left in this candle. Merely for the fact that I have FOMO, I'm not going to trade this. I'm worried that it's just going to like pull back to like 39 or something. 2.1 to 2.7 on the TTM. I might enter on a pullback on this. There's a nice pullback there at about 40. I wanted to actually take that. See if I can get in 40 and a quarter, which is right at the upper band of the view app. It might just run right past me. I got a noti on my phone. I thought it was my trade getting filled. I was like, what? Making new highs on the day there. Continuing to rip up. I want to take this. I'm so tempted to take that in the eval, but I'm just not going to. Try to make sure we're making profit in that evaluation every single day. HLBZ dropped the same news, the like investigation of illegal shorts. Oh yeah, HLBZ, they were the company that actually dropped the news, and then GNS was the company that's like, oh yeah, we can help with that because we have experience, and that was why GNS went up crazy. So HLBZ and GNS were linked. Yeah, you know, I mean, like, as far as the whole naked short things, you know, like it's just like I don't know. I just look at it like this. I'm just like, all right, well, the market is manipulated. Like every single person knows the market is manipulated, from the complete layman who knows nothing about the market to the person who is like at the highest level of the SEC. Everybody knows the market's manipulated. It's just a matter of like how much the market is manipulated and how often, and like how much that's affecting the overall economy. That's really what they care about. They don't really care that markets are being manipulated, honestly. Uh, I think if they did, then there would be like way more crackdown on a lot of the stuff. Honestly, I don't even mind it. Like, frankly, I'm like, just go with whatever they're manipulating. Like, if they're manipulating a stock up, then you know, buy it on the way up, or at least that's my opinion. I'm not financial advice in any capacity. FOMO got you bad. The last 2 weeks, yeah, I totally understand. What platform do I use? So Lynn, I'm using on the paper side of things. I'm using Thinkorswim. This is because I trade live stocks. Not I don't trade it on stream when I trade my live stocks. That's just my personal account. But I'm using TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim, which was bought by Charles Schwab a few months back, just about a year ago. So they will be transitioning to Charles Schwab this year. I had a conversation with one of them recently, and they told me around like March or something like that, I could expect to start seeing like rebranding Thinkorswim and everything like that over to Charles Schwab. But I am using Charles Schwab for my paper trading. And then for my evaluation, I'm using Trade-Evate. So I've been pretty happy with Trade-Evate. I am very curious to try like Rhythmic or Ninja Trader or some of the other platforms out there. But I've been pretty happy with Trade-Evate so far. So yeah, we are up 132.08 in our 50K eval, and we're up 66 in our 100K evaluation. And then on our paper trading, we're up 1,187.50 on the day. So far, we've not taken any losses today, and I'm really grateful for that. We do see some petering out up here at the top along 41. That's why I'm not taking trades at the moment, just because I'm seeing this sort of like leveling off up here at the upper band of the VWAP. And as far as the TTM goes, we're also kind of leveling off a little bit. You can see we went from 4.4 to 4.5. Or 4.4 to 4.6. So there's like very little movement in that regard on the TTM. So we may see some leveling off and switching over to some cooling candles, kind of like what we saw right here, where we had a rejection of the upper band of the VWAP, pulled back down to about the 35, and then eventually the 50, and then pop back up off that. So it's pretty evidenced by these cooling candles. So you'll see you'll start to get some leveling off there. You can see it actually flash there for a second. Start to get some leveling off on the TTM before we switch over to cooling candles and start to see some gradual declines, which is normal. And then we decline into the red zone. And then when we get a red to yellow switch, those are my favorite to take. Really, I'm looking for a lot of the transition trades. So if I could explain what that is. Wow, come on. Why won't it zoom for me? There we go. All right. So the transition trade is really like this, where it's switching from like red to yellow. These are like my favorite entry points, like right here. And then when you have a moving average right underneath it, it makes it even better. And then the other one is like where you get the yellow to the cyan right here. This is also a really nice trade that I really enjoy taking. Is like, I don't know why it's being a butt. There we go. Is like right here where you're getting that like yellow to cyan, and you can even take it beforehand, but this really is part of the red to yellow move right there. And then the cyan move, you can see it had a slight decline in it, and then had a bounce off the 35. So these are usually more of like a straight shot if they have a green dot. If they have a red dot, they kind of tend to get a little bit of a decline. So the red to green dot here is more accurately the move, but typically it's the yellow to cyan that goes pretty well. Okay, so after this leveling off, we went from 4.4 to 4.5 to 4.7 to 4.8 4.8 to now 4.7. So we are getting still kind of that leveling off. We may see a move down to like the 35, which is now holding at 39.38. Might take a quick short here, but not at 6 ticks. Gonna take like 3 ticks and try and get in at 41.25. We're in at 41.25. We may get a little pop up, but really I want to see it drop down just below 40 or to about 40. I may cut this quickly. This looks like it might be our first loss of the day. Another cooling candle coming in. Yeah, I'm gonna cut that. Lost of 250 on that. So we're still up 937.50 on the day. Again, gonna make sure I'm not over trading on the day. Do I trade during the night? Occasionally I do, actually. Sometimes, like if I'm just kind of can't sleep or something, and it's like midnight or like 1 in the morning, I might trade some futures. Actually, I do kind of like trading in the middle of the night. The volume is really low, which makes it kind of challenging, but you're basically trading like wave patterns most of the time during the night. It's pretty much just like a very consistent, almost like a heartbeat. And it makes it kind of easier to trade in that regard. I've had a lot of success trading in the middle of the night, but I also don't want my schedule to be like it's 2 a.m. I'm going to start trading now, or like 1:30 in the morning, because then I'm going to stay up all night and then sleep all day. So we do have a lot of people watching today, higher numbers than normal. So if y'all wouldn't mind, please like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. We're getting a nice pop up now. Nice big rip. Up about 937.50 on the day before fees in the paper account. And we're doing pretty well. We're up about $200 for 202 evaluations as well. 4.6 up to 5.0. Joining the bid here off of 46.5. Just looking for a pop up to 47.25 near these highs. All right, we got that up 1087.50 on the day. So our peak is 1187.50 on the day. So we're just down $100 below our peak. Gonna check in on the evaluation side. I was considering taking a trade there. I'm a little worried about taking a trade at the highs though. We are running up to like 39.50 zone. I'm gonna I have FOMO, so I want to just keep jumping into trades, but I'm going to pull this up on the 5-minute chart and just take a look and see what we got going on. So we had steady declines on the 5-minute chart for a long time, but now we are getting a 50. We did recently get a 5,200 cross on the 5-minute chart. You can see as evidenced by the green 50 EMA moving average crossing above the red 200 SMA moving average. That's giving us a lot of this bullish action towards the upside. So 39.50 is not out of the question. I'm gonna put this at like 5 ticks and take a move here off of 46.5 for a move up towards 50. Switching back to the 1-minute chart. Getting some resistance there at 47. I dropped down my sell order to just be slightly above where I'm at. Just gonna see if I can get out of this with a single ticket profit. I may have to cut this trade. Watching it closely. Okay, got that single ticket profit. It was not a good trade in my opinion. And even though we made a little bit of money on it, I don't consider that to be a good trade because we basically took it for this pop up on the peak, and we can kind of see that it's actually like leveling off. So in my own personal opinion, even though we made profit, it's not necessarily a great trade. But I am grateful to be able to get out of there with a little bit of profit. So is what it is. I think it's incredibly important to just be self-aware and know what is luck and what is not. What is luck? What is skill? And I would say that was more of a luck trade instead of a skill trade. Looks like it eventually did pop up. We got a doji at the top. Very hesitant to take trades up here at this point, just because we're so far past the upper band of the VWAP. You can see the upper band of the VWAP's down at 43. And that's on the upper side. So I mean, like the middle of the VWAP is like way down here at 27. So our divergence right now is $20. And normally we do have the capability of diverging about 25 to 30 bucks. Once we get to that point, a lot of times we get sort of that whiplash situation where we get this like rip down towards the middle of the VWAP. 39.50 is not out of the question though. High of the day, it looks like 39.48. 39.48.75. It's easier to see on my evaluation side. Do have a lot of y'all chilling. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. It does make a major difference to the community growth and all that. By the way, guys, if y'all chilling and you are looking to earn funding in the futures market, make sure you check out Elite Trader Funding. These guys are awesome. Some of the best customer support in the entire industry right now. So you can earn funding as low as 10K and as high as $300,000. So you literally could trade with the equity of an entire house if you really wanted to. There is a link in the description with a promo code that will lock in a lifetime discount on any of the plans that you see here. Now, one thing I really like about Elite Trader Funding is that they offer a variety of different type of evaluations that you'll not find anywhere else. They do have a one-step evaluation, which these are becoming more common in the industry, but really kind of pioneered a lot by ETF. These are basically, you have a minimum of 5 trading days. It's just one step. You pass that one step, you're funded. That simple. These do come with a trailing max drawdown, and every single plan has this see more details link, so you can actually understand all of the rules and steps of each individual evaluation type. There's also the fast track evaluations. I don't recommend these unless you know exactly what you're doing. You have a super solid strategy. And the reason why is because these have a maximum of 14 calendar days. So these have a time limit on them. None of the other ones do. There's the more traditional style, the end of the day drawdown that you'll find at most traditional prop firms. And then there's the static drawdowns, which are also super popular. I like these because they're incredibly easy to understand. Basically, you start with a 100K account, and if you lose more than what is listed here on the drawdown, then you fail the evaluation. If you don't lose more than that, you don't fail. It's that simple. There's no trailing. There's none of that. So it's super simple to understand. This one allows you. I'm working on the 50K one step. This one here, which allows me 8 contracts and a $3,000 profit target. And then I'm also working on the 100K static, which allows me 2 contracts and a $2,000 profit target. So these ones, in my own personal opinion, I really like these. There's also a crazy deal going on in the market right now, which is Apex Trading, who's offering 80% off on a flash sale right now. I will drop a link in the chat so that you guys can take advantage of that. But you can actually get access to 50K evaluation for just 33 bucks. It's crazy, ridiculous cheap. I will drop that in here as well. In my own personal opinion, guys, getting access to $50,000 for like 35 bucks or something like that is just like it's the deal of the century. Because if the market drops or whatever and you end up losing your account or something like that, you don't lose 50K of your money. It's awesome. Like you spent 33 bucks to get access to 50K. It's just insane. So it's something that just amazes me, but it's there. All right, guys, let's jump back into the charts. We did hit a lot of resistance up there around 47, 48. Definitely became a nice bullish day. My nose is kind of itchy, man. You got allergies. New high right there, 39.49. Like I said, I don't think 39.50 is out of the question. We are up 1137.50 in the paper account today. We're up about 200 bucks between our two evaluations. 132 on one and 66 on another. Taking a look at the 5-minute chart, we're still continuing to climb on the TTM. Movement from 10.9 to 12.0 to 12.3 to 12.5 to 12.7. I'm a little more inclined to short down to like 44 off this 47 high. Well, 49 high, but just because we are seeing that sort of like leveling off. Take a short up here at 46.50. And I'm looking for a move down to 45. Taking that profit right there. Made 150. New high of the day, 1287.50. If you remember, 1187.50 was our original high of the day. So we may see some pullbacks now to around the EMA 35, which is down here at 42. And we may also see some bounces off the upper band of the VWAP. So right now I'm going to be a little slow in my trading, as I have been for a lot of the day. Being very cautious, but also willing to take some little micro swings. There are some really nice moves today, though. Especially if you're scalping. So we're just kind of focused on scalping today. Just checking in the chat, because I missed some of this stuff. Yeah, I will say TradingView, like, I don't 100% love their charts. Nothing wrong with TradingView, but what I really love about TradingView is their compatibility. Like, they have compatibility across the board with so many different like trading bots and cryptocurrency and just stocks and futures, and just like they just have by far some of the most compatibility that I've seen out of any company, any software out there. So I really love their compatibility and the ability to be able to build custom platforms on their software, which I think is just super cool. Still a ways from the high. Tuesday, yeah, for sure. But whether we go after that or low of yesterday, it's everyone's guess. Yeah. Oh yeah, about TradingView. Yeah, TradingView is like TradingView was actually probably one of the first trading platforms I ever used back when I was trading crypto a lot, and because a lot of the exchanges use TradingView, and the more I learned about TradingView, like even Binance uses TradingView, Bittrex uses TradingView, so the more I learned to use TradingView, the more I kind of understood it, and and use some other platforms that were built off of it as well. We're getting a nice bounce off the 12 EMA. You see right there, we got so I mentioned about getting a bounce off the upper band of the VWAP. There it is right there. Nice bounce up to 47 from 45. We are still cooling on the TTM. I got like allergies. Give me just 1 second. All right, we back. My nose was like getting like stuffed up, man. Like allergies hitting me. We are definitely kind of like, you can see this whole like leveling off here. Definitely a lot of resistance along this $50 zone. I'm going to throw it right here at this doji. Just right at 47. It's kind of an in between of all this chop. Maybe looking for a blue to red switch now. How's everyone doing today, by the way? Like, you guys red? Are you green? Let me know in the comments. It's a nice day to go into the weekend, though. By the way, if y'all chilling and y'all hanging out, we do have a lot of viewers today, a lot more than we normally do. So please, guys, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. It really does help the community grow. Also, guys, we do have an amazing Discord community with some awesome family members there. So we are Optimistic Futures. Our Discord community is really focused a lot on helping people develop as a person as well as a trader, as well as like if you're into entrepreneurship or anything like that. There is a link in the description to our Discord group right now. Only about 10% of y'all joined our Discord group, so we'd love to have a few more of y'all join in. Here's a link to our Discord. But we would love to have you guys in our Discord community. Our whole thing is to develop better traders, develop better entrepreneurs, and just people as a whole to help you become more grounded and just more solid in your daily life. So join on in. We'd love to have you there. We also have a lot of people like helping each other out, jumping on calls and things like that to talk about trade strategies. It's just a really great place to be. Getting a rip here for another test of these highs. We have a triple top up here. We may break 50. TTM looked like it leveled off here at, are we on the 1 minute? Yeah. 2.4 to 2.4 to 2.4 to 2.4. That's a lot of just level movement there on that TTM. What's the volume like? Because it feels like it kind of slowed down a little bit. We're staying kind of consistent around 2,000 contracts. We're exactly at the highs right now. Oh, damn, I was just about to take that. I was like adjusting my thing here. My bracket size. A lot of sellers stepping in on the Bulls Bears. Taking a short off that just because of the amount of sellers, although it's probably not the right move. Yeah, it's definitely not the right move. I'm out. Yikes. Loss of 300 on that one. I took the short basically because the sellers were kind of stacking in on the Bulls Bears, but definitely was not the right move. Considering that we're getting a lot of this leveling on the TTM and then switching over. 39.50 now. A lot of sellers stepping in, so it's kind of interesting to see that the price kept going up. Considering that, look at the difference here on the Bulls and Bears. Tried to join the bid there at 49.5. Didn't let me in. Now we're popping off of 50. In at 50.5 with 4 contracts. All right, we got back up pretty close to where we're at. We're down 150 off of our peak of the day. Back above 1,000 though. Jumping onto my evaluation side. Tried to join the bid there off 52. Didn't fill me. That's okay. Getting another pop up here. Just ripping. I'm going to pull back the charts a little bit and just see. Let's go back to a 10-day. See where we're at on the 10-day chart. So on the 30-minute 10-day chart, we are getting a cyan switch from 2.9 to 4.5 to 8.3 to 11.3. So we're getting a lot of stacking on the 30-minute chart on the TTM. We are pushing up towards this 200 simple moving average. So we may see some resistance right there at 39.75. Pulling out to the longer time frames in order to kind of evaluate where we can go from here, because we are outside of that upper band of the VWAP. So our range on the day has already been broken. So because that's the case, I'm looking at a broader time frame. So this 200 SMA may act as resistance on the day, which is right around 39.75. It's a little bit lower, but it's pretty much in that range right there, which gives us another $25 or so of movement available to the upside. There is a lot of momentum stacked on the 30-minute chart as well. Also taking a look at the 15-minute chart to take a look where our moving averages are at. On the 15-minute chart, we do have a stacking on the TTM, 8.4 to 10.4 to 12.9 to 14.9. By the way, if you guys are unfamiliar with the TTM, I do have a video on it on our channel. It is related to stocks, not futures. And those stocks are focused on low float, high volume stocks that are typically moving with news. So that was the way that I use the TTM when I'm trading stocks. Excuse me. I use it a little bit differently when I'm trading futures, but it does give a general idea of how the movement on the TTM works. It more specifically is focused towards stocks, but the strategy is not much different on the future side. It is slightly different, but it's just not much different. So we do have a 50-200 crossover inbound on the 15-minute chart. This is looking very bullish. The 50-200, the 50 is down at 28, just below VWAP on the 15-minute chart. And the 200 is up at 37. I'm going to call it 38 because it's closer to that. So they're only diverged about $10, and they're converging on themselves. The more they converge, the more we have opportunity for much higher movement. And if we get that 5,200 crossover, then I don't think 39.75 is out of the question on the day. Down, wow, wow. Down, wow, wow. I would like to see some pullback and consolidation though for a bit. Let's see. 8.0 to 9.1 to 9.8 on the TTM3. Kind of slow movement right now, even though we're getting these little pops here. We are getting these after these really long periods of like kind of flat choppiness. You can see there's another flag forming right there. I may actually take this. Looking for an entry off of maybe the 9. So right around 51.75. In at 51.75, and I'm looking for just 3 ticks at the up on 52.50 as the exit. So it really just needs to move up 1 tick. Entry at 51.75. Pulling back now some. Should have gone for 2 ticks instead of 3. Just gonna try and get out with a micro profit. Kind of near our risk level. Micro profit would be just 1 tick up. Back to 1187.50. Been having a hard time breaking out of this area here. 1287.50 is our peak of the day. I'd like to go for about 1,500 on the day. Pulling back now towards 50. Movement on TTM from 3.4 to 3.1. I was curious about taking a short off of this. It is seeing a little more support at 50. EMA 35 is down at 47. So. It was short off of 49.5. I'm looking for a move down to 48. I think I'm actually being a little too ambitious with this particular trade. So I took it off. 1237.50 is where we're at now. Peak of the day is just $50 up from where we're at. Kind of weird trading a little bit now at this point. Lynn, if you work 9 to 5, there is definitely a lot of opportunity in futures specifically because you work 9 to 5. So like I normally trade, I don't know what time zone you're in, but I normally trade from about 7:30 to 9 my time. I'm on Pacific. And so there's definitely a lot of opportunity in terms of trading. I just particularly I don't trade at 5:30 because a lot of economic reports drop at that time. 5:30 Pacific, so that's 8:30 Eastern. A lot of economic reports drop at that time, and that causes massive fluctuation in the market when that happens. But aside from that, you have 23 hours during the day that you can trade futures. It only closes for 1 hour a day, and that time frame is from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific, so 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern time. Um, so whatever time zone you're in, there should be a lot of opportunity in order to be able to work that around your 9 to 5 schedule. And that's one of the things I really like about futures. It's also it's kind of like trading crypto in the sense that crypto can be traded 24 hours a day, but you're also trading financial instruments that are 75 years old, or however old the S&P 500 is, or the Nasdaq. So you're trading these like instruments that have been around for a really long time. They're not going anywhere. And that's one thing I really, really like about it. Plus, there's a lot of opportunity in terms of just taking really minor trades and making reasonable profits. So that's one thing I really like about trading futures. Um, is you can kind of work it around just about any schedule. Okay, yeah, Eastern. So if you work 9 to 5 Eastern, um, that means that's 6 my time. So that gives you a lot of opportunity from like 7 a.m. up to like, so your time, 7 a.m. up to like 8:30. Uh, and 8:30 is where a lot of the economic reports come out. So if I pull up the economic calendar here, you can see throughout the week. It's going to reload. It reloads every time I go to the page. But if you can see here, these are all in Eastern time. So on Wednesday, there was like 3 reports that dropped at 8:30 Eastern time. And so I just typically, I just make sure that I'm not in a trade at this time. So that's like the very basis of everything. And the reason why I do that is because if I go back on the chart and just show you, like, let's go back to yesterday. Let me pull up a 5-day. Mm, mm, mm. So this is the open. This is also another time that I make sure that I'm not in a trade. It's right here at the open, which is at 6:30. So that's 9:30 your time. So obviously you'd be at work by this time. But let's see. We didn't have any economic reports today, so it might not be a big deal. This was 5:30 right here, which really was not a big deal today, because there wasn't a ton of range on it. 39.25, 39.22, so range of like 12 ticks. Not particularly crazy, but some days it's really, really crazy at that time. Like that at that exact moment. And it can go up or down a lot at that time frame. Um, not a lot of great examples from this week, but just know that at that time, 8:30 Eastern, is when a lot of economic reports drop and stuff can go kind of crazy. Same with that 9:30 Eastern when the market opens. There's a lot of volatility, but overnight there's pretty consistent wave patterns. So if you can get really good at just riding the waves of the overnight session, it's not that bad. I've done a lot of trading overnight from like 1:30 to like 3:30 in the morning my time here in Pacific. It's really not too overly challenging to trade. in my own personal opinion, and I'm basing that off of a couple years of experience. So like here is this is a good overnight session right here. This is from like 3:30 in the morning to 4:30. So this is like a 1 hour session. And if we zoom in here, you can see we had pretty good like drops down to about around like the 9 EMA, and then some pops off the 9 EMA, and just along this like just kind of basic support and resistance type stuff. So good little ops to like take little mini shorts and then mini longs as well. So when I trade overnight, though, I only scalp. I don't take any momentum trades at all. So just that's me personally, and that's my preference. I don't give financial advice or trading advice on this channel, and really anybody who's giving advice, I try to be a little bit hesitant of, but that's just how I personally trade, and that's the best information I can offer is how I personally do it, and you know, you go from there and make your own decisions. Let's see, we're getting some ride along this EMA 35. TCM has gone red. 0.3 to 1.0 to 1.6 to 2.3 basically, to 2.8 on the current. So we're getting some drop down. We may get a drop down to like the 50, which is right here, around 46. I'm gonna take a short right here. Short on 48. Took $100 off that. We beat our top. So new peak on the day, up 1337.50. We do have a lot of people chilling. Just if y'all chilling, make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. By the way, guys, if you guys are trying to earn funding in the futures market, make sure you check out Elite Trader Funding. These guys are awesome. There is a link in the description and a promo code JSBEST that you can use to lock in a lifetime discount. But you can earn funding as low as $10K and as high as $300,000. Currently, I'm working on the 50K evaluation myself on the one step, and I'm also working on the 100K static evaluation. So be sure to check these guys out if you are looking to earn funding in the futures market. Also, Apex Trading is another prop firm out there where you can actually get access to 50K. They are running a, I was scrolling to the top, they are running a 80% off deal right now. And I can drop a link in the chat here for that. But they're running an 80% off deal right now, so you can actually get access to 50K for just $33. So if you are looking to earn funding in the futures market, it's probably one of the best values out there right now between Elite and Apex. But the reason why I say that is because you're getting access to $50,000 for $33. It's just absolutely ridiculously inexpensive. So a lot of opportunity to grow your account using somebody else's funds, which I think is just the best deal ever. Getting a red-yellow move is one of my favorite moves. Let's see, so for an entry point, took an entry off of 50. We're looking for a pop-up towards 51, jumping into the evaluation side and joining the bid.
Order filled.
Entered at 50.5. Look for a move up to 51.25. Reducing, just looking for one tick now, looking to get out. We are getting some sell-off on this. We're in 4 contracts on the evaluation side. May have to cut this. Kind of holding at my risk level here. Two seconds left in this candle.
Order
All right,
filled.
we got out of that with a little micro profit. Up 164.16 in the evaluation. So we're up 345.56 out of 3,000 in the 50K account. And in the 100K account, we're down like 54 bucks. We're up 66 on the day, but overall on the account, we're down like 50 something bucks. So pretty flat on the 100K account. With the 50K account, we are about 10% of the way, just over. Really great trading on the day. Available. We have a possible crossover here of the 1226. This is a really often a really solid move. Also got a red yellow move here on the TTM. I will say there's a couple of things about this that I don't love. I guess the 9 is above the 12, but we're seeing a lot of resistance there at 39.50, and this honestly should have popped higher. So this kind of almost looks like a false break. If we're starting to get false breaks, this may indicate some potential fall down or slow down in the trading so far. We're coming up on lunchtime here. Movement of 2.6 to 2.4 to 2.0 to 1.9. So very flat on TTM. That was a really nice red yellow move though, and bounce off the EMA 35. That's by far, this whole little setup is one of my favorite setups. So you've got a bounce off the EMA 35, and you're getting a move on the TTM from red switching over to yellow, giving you an opportunity for these little rips here, where we went from like 47.5 up to 50.5. So about 12 tick move there, which depending on how many contracts you're taking could be worth a lot. But 12 ticks is a really, really great move because even if you're taking one contract, the ES trades at $12.50 per tick. So 12.5 times 12, you're up 150 bucks or so. $2.0 to 1.9 to 1.7 on TTM yellow on the 1 minute chart. It looks like this breakout might not happen, as evidenced by the 9 dipping back below the 12. Right now, it's in a state of flux. It doesn't know which way it wants to go right now, it seems to me, whether it's going to go up or down. I will say that the TTM is stacking towards the upside, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we will go that direction. You see we're kind of selling off a little bit, but the 9 is below the 12. And that to me is more concerning about that upside move. Also, if you look at this, the 26 and the 26 simple, as well as the 9 and the 12, are diverging away from each other. The more divergence that we see on these guys toward the downside, the more momentum we may see towards the downside. We are getting a nice bounce off the EMA 35 though, or at least it's holding support. 9's now heavily below the 12, so I'm a little more inclined to think of this as a downward move. 1.5 to 1.5, so 1.7 to 1.5 to 1.3 on the current candle. We may still get the cyan switch, but it's almost like just choppiness up here. It kind of looks like an ABCD pattern, doesn't it? You got the A there, the B, this is the C, and then we're kind of moving into the D formation. Throwing in a little price level there at 50. $1.2 to 0.9 on the TTM. Up 14.87.50 on the day in the paper account. That's our peak of the day so far. Also, we've not taken any losses in the eval side on the 50K. We're up 164.16, and we're up 66 in the 100K account. Could see a pullback to the 50. It doesn't know which way it wants to go, though. It's very like sideways right now. A lot of sideways action as we come into the lunchtime. There's that pullback towards the 50 that I was mentioning. This is usually a good area to get bounces off of, but I don't know that we're going to bounce off of this because of just how much we've been kind of riding along this sideways marker. .2 to 1.1 to 1.0 on the TTM. If we do fall down from here, I think we have movement down, like available down to the 200, which is right around 35. I don't know if we'll fall down that much. It's like $10. So that would be a pretty heavy move to the downside. I guess since I don't really have a sense of which direction this is going to go, it does look like an ABCD pattern. So that would mean that we'd be seeing another upward move, but because I don't really have a sense of where it's going to go, I'm just kind of sitting, waiting right now. Looking for some more momentous kind of move. I think if I were to take a trade right now, it would be out of boredom. But if you look at the volume profiles, kind of dropped a bit by about 500 contracts on average over the last, like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. $48. Maybe the last, like, 10 minutes. So volume's kind of dropped a little bit. This does really look like an ABCD pattern. I may look to go long here. Try to enter off of 47 3/4. Didn't get the entry. Move our entry up to 48. Entered at 48 1/4. I'm looking for a move up to 49. I was really kind of looking to take advantage of that move. I could be a little late on this. Jump into the evaluation side. I don't know if I want to take an eval trade on this. Nine is below 12. Kind of riding along the EMA 35. And we are very slowly stacking. We do have a 1226 crossover inbound. It doesn't list it on our indicator, but it does kind of look like it. I did get that trade. Up 16.3750 on the paper side. 0.5 to 0.2 on the TTM. It's looking more like this ABCD pattern may actually play out. Four green candles in a row, actually three, followed by a big red. You see a lot of selling, a lot of sellers coming in. Buyers stepping in to take that support off the 50 there. Maybe this is why the indicator wasn't firing for the possible crossover, even though it was so close. Was because we had a lot of sellers stacked on the upper band. So, but likely had a lot of sells stacked at 49. Now we're definitely getting the, so we kind of have more like a head and shoulders forming now. So the ABCD failed. And then if we look at this, we can see the head and shoulders pattern right here. So here's shoulder 1. Here's the head. And here's shoulder 2. So now we may look for fall downs down to about 40 potential. I could be wrong, obviously. I'll never claim to be an expert. I'll never claim to know what's going to happen. But it's just, you know, been my experience that when we see head and shoulders patterns kind of forming, they typically tend to play out. Plus, we see the 26 moving towards the downside. This doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to fall here, because this still can work in ABCD. But we do have TTMs fluttering between red and yellow at the moment. And we are still bouncing off the 50. Just gonna check in with y'all. See how y'all doing. How often do I live trade? Every day, Monday through Friday. Sorry that this took a while to get back to you, but I was just kind of focused on the trades. Every day, Monday through Friday, 7:30 Pacific to around 9:30 Pacific. Sometimes it's earlier, but we usually trade for about 2 hours in the morning every day, Monday through Friday. We don't trade on weekends. Yeah, the lunch drop session, you're absolutely correct there, Tiny. I have also been caught there many times. Looks like we're the right shoulder of the head. I totally agree with that. Yeah, I also saw multiple patterns within that same pattern there, Tiny, as well. So I thought that was a little kind of interesting. Don't do it. Don't be bored. Keep talking to us. Well, I'm not bored talking to you guys. I sometimes just get bored just like staring at the charts. I'm like, I should probably take another trade. Get myself in trouble like that. We are bouncing up the 50. Quite well, actually. From about 46 up to 49, so another 12 tick move. I'm gonna take a look at this on the 5. On the 5, we're actually cooling off. So when we look on the 5-minute chart, we peaked on the TTM at 13.2, or sorry, 13.5, and then we moved down to 12.6, 11.5, 11.3, 10.2, 8.9 to 8.1 on the current. So we're actually stacking lower on the TTM5. It doesn't look like that though, like on the overall charts. Like overall, it looks like we're still moving towards the upside. Especially because, you know, even though we see that head and shoulders, there's also ABCD there as well. So it's both patterns happening at one time. So we have a bearish pattern and a bullish pattern happening identical, or not identical, but right next to each other. Anyway, this went from 9.5 on the TTM3 on the peak, and it's been moving down about 1 point every 3 minutes, 4.5 to 3.3 to 2.7 to 1.9. So a lot of stacking towards the downside on the TTM. So we may actually, you know, eventually see this drop down. The drop really, as I mentioned already, I'm looking at like 35, or sorry, like 43 and 40 or so, and as low as like 35 on the drop as a whole. We do have lunchtime coming up. It's already noon on the East Coast. So because of this case, it is lunchtime over there. A lot of times what happens is traders go to lunch, and they just sell out of their positions and go get lunch for like an hour or two. And a lot of the volume just leaves the market, and we see like it drop down for about 2 hours, kind of get like a trough on the day. And then as we come into the power hour, that's where we get a lot more volume back in the day. We are riding along 39.50 resistance zone. Switching back to the 1. There's an ABCD, looking more like that now, as opposed to the head and shoulders. So looking more like the ABCD side. Volume is still reasonable at like 1,700 contracts a minute. We are getting a cyan switch, but off very little to no momentum. We also did just get a 1226 crossover. 9's above the 12. Where did this peak at? 51. So this is like on an ABCD pattern. It's basically like having like 2 cups and handles back to back. This is like the cup, and make it like a bounce like off of the 9 EMA here, like 48.5, and then a rip up. I know they're different patterns, and y'all don't need to correct me or anything like that, but I know they're different patterns, but they do share a lot of similarities. Bow, bow. I'm gonna try and take an entry off of 49 for long. Just gonna get out there, take a quick $100. Up 1737.50 on the day. Boom, boom. Got a double top here at 49.75. Popped up through it, hit 50. Time of the day is 9:06. Pretty good trading so far today. I think we only took 2 losses in the paper account so far. We took 81 contracts, so we took way less trades than we normally do, but also with pretty decent profits. So pretty happy about that. 353 in fees. Take out our gross, and we're up 1384 in the paper today. Gonna doji here, sort of this top zone. There's not enough momentum on either side for me to take any trade. Just very sideways. Pretty grateful I stuck on scalping today instead of going for momentum trades. Again, guys, we do have a pretty reasonable amount of viewers, more than we normally do. So if you guys would not mind, please like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It does really help the community grow, and the more likes and subscribes and things like that we get, the more YouTube exposes us to more people. So which really does help the community grow more than you guys might think. For every new subscriber, YouTube introduces me to like 1,000 more people. So it's really a pretty incredible opportunity. Really, every time you guys like and subscribe, it really does help the community grow. And again, we are focused on building a community here at Optimistic Futures. We have a Discord community that if you guys are not in right now, feel free to join, figure out what we're all about. I will write the link here, but there's also just a link in the body, in the description of the video. But it's joelstraight.com/Discord. And you guys can get access to that. It is a free Discord. So I know some Discords are paid, and we may eventually come out with like a premium Discord something in the future, but right now, like in our main section of everything will always stay free. So but we have an awesome family of traders there. They're really focused and interested in helping each other grow. 0.1 to 0.4 to 1.3 on the TTM, starting to get a little bit of momentum. Sorry, 0.4 to 0.9 to 1.3, but we are moving at about a half a point now, which is more than we've been moving for the last hour almost. Pulling back to 49. 49 might be a decent bounce zone. Taking a long off 49. Might be a mistake. Dropping it down to a single tick. Nope, gonna cut it. Yeah, I'm out. Loss of 300 on that. Or maybe it was 350. This is the drop that we were finally, we've been waiting for a very long time. Up 1437.50 on the day. So I think we lost, I can't remember if we were at 1787 or 1737. But we either lost 300 or 350 on that. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. All that matters is that we're green every day. Very rangy day now. Can you believe buyers came and filled that whole drop all the way back up? Look at that. We ended on a doji after dropping like $2. That's a lot of move. Actually, it's almost $3. It's really shocking to kind of end on a doji after such a massive drop and pop right back up. But 49 acting as pretty heavy resistance. Looks like I did need to cut that trade. Looks like it would have worked out if I just held on to it. But you never know. I mean, especially when you see a big flash down like that. It's a good way to catch traders. I may go ahead and shut it down now. We are up about 1,500 on the day. So I just want to make sure that that we maintain our profits on the day, that we don't overtrade, and with as much sort of sideways action as we've seen in the market today, I may walk away with my profits now. We are up in the evaluation. Let me just share my screen, show you what we're up. On the evaluation side, we're up 164.16 on the day in the 50K account, and on the 100K account, we're up 66.04. 50K account, we are technically down in the account by like $50, but I'm not really too worried about that. That came from an accidental trade that happened yesterday or day before yesterday. Day before yesterday it was. There was an accidental trade that took place in this account that cost me $160. So it is what it is. And just work my way back up. No big deal. We're about 10% of the way on the 50K evaluation to earning funding. Really focused a lot on scalping these last few days. Just because the market movement's been a little sideways, a little sus. So I've just been focused on like taking small trades, taking quick wins, and building up a balance slowly, which I'm fine with. I don't need to take massive momentum trades. And also I don't need to like earn funding this second. And so I'm okay with being patient. I'm fine with that. We do have resistance here at 39.50. As you can see, getting a cyan to dark blue at the moment. It honestly seems like we're gonna eventually see like a drop down, but every time we drop, we find support. So 'cause the day is very clearly bullish. But yeah, guys, having said that, those are our results on the day, which we will post up in our Discord community. We always post our reflection on the day as well as our P&L on the day. Post it every single day in the Discord community. I'll let you guys know what I was thinking, what I was feeling, what was going on. Was I over trading? Was I under trading? Was I being too cautious? Was I being too aggressive? All that type of stuff. I write out my thoughts as well as my P&L on the day for each account. So whether it's my paper account or each individual evaluation that I'm working on, I do make all those there in the Discord community. We also have an awesome community that is helping people gain more understanding of the markets as a whole, entrepreneurship as a whole, as well as philosophy. So we talk about a wide variety of topics, all focused on improving the individual as a person, as an entrepreneur, and as a trader. So if that sounds like something you guys are interested in, please join our Discord community. It's joelstraight.com/discord. There is a link in the description as well. So you guys can just join on in that. We are getting some fall down here. This does, I might stick around. This does look like this is switching over to the red side. Movement along the 50 EMA. If we get a blue to red switch, I will look at taking short. But I want to see that red candle on the TTM. We're at 1.5, or sorry, 1.6, 1.2 to 1.1. Apologies if my visual impairment gets in the way. For those of you who don't know, I do have a brain injury. It's an anoxic brain injury. 6 years ago or something like that, I went almost 40 minutes without oxygen to the brain. Woke up completely blind and unable to speak. So sometimes that visual impairment gets in the way of my trading. Getting a nice bounce off of the 50 EMA. And basically what that kind of does is it'll like distort the numbers a little bit and make it a little bit challenging for me to be able to read the graphs or read the charting and stuff like that. But it's not too big of a deal. I worked past it. I found a lot of ways to adapt past it. So ain't nothing gonna slow me down. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here. And also, lastly, guys, if you guys want to take advantage of earning funding in the futures market, check out Elite Trader Funding. There's a link in the description and a promo code to get you a lifetime discount. Also, Apex Trading is offering a 80% off discount right now, so you can get access to 50K for $33. And I will drop that link in the chat before we head out. There it is, right there. I'll put it up on the screen so y'all can type that in and go there. Again, please like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. I'm going to go ahead and sign off and post our results in the Discord community. Thank you, everybody who showed up today. Thank you, all of our new viewers who are brand new to the channel. If anybody happens to join the Discord community, my existing members, please welcome them. Give them a nice, warm, optimistic futures welcome, and welcome to the family. Happy to have you guys here. So much love and appreciation to everybody, and we are going to sign off for the day. Peace.